Alright, so I'm going to start out by blocking in the basic features of the nose with my hardest pencil here. Just an H, so it'll make some nice light marks and I don't have to worry about being too heavy. So the first thing I'm going to look at is the edge of the nostrils. And I'm just going to kind of suggest where they should be without putting any heavy marks. So I'm going to let the shading kind of define that. So I'm going to look at this X mark here. And as it goes out here, it goes about halfway down. So I know about halfway down that's where I need to be kind of starting. Halfway between these 2 points, right about here. And so I'm just going to bring this line up, just kind of let it establish the side of the nose there. And then I'm going to come over here and do a similar thing. You know, this hits right about halfway. So starting here, just bringing up a basic line to there. I'm not going to put any kind of lines in the center of the nose right now, maybe a little bit of a ghost of a line there. Now as far as this part here, I'm going to look how far down the center of the nose comes into this triangle here. So it comes down about halfway, a little bit over. So I'm going to make a mark there to know that that's where the bottom of my nose should go. Before I go any further, I'm going to block in a basic kind of mark as to where the shadow goes. So in through here. And this kind of establishes a little bit of a triangle shape. This is kind of where my nose is going to be blocked in. Now, there are some hard lines on a nose, but mostly those are the nostrils. So I'm going to put those in and bringing it down to where this line is. And I know that that's where my nose should end. And on the other side, do a similar thing. And it kind of comes in here like this. Now, I'm going to begin by showing you guys how to shade with the hardest pencil. So I'm going to bring in shadow through this part here, and I'm just kind of, just like with the eye, I'm leaving some gaps. Now, there's a little bit of reflected light along the edge of this nostril, so I'm going to leave that the color of the paper for now. I'm just kind of blocking in the shadow along where I made that guideline. You see the shadow comes up and down and kind of echoes and comes in here and defines the edge of the nostril, just like this. And then the edge of this nostril is also defined by a slight curl up of shadow. And before I come and put in the deep shadow underneath the nose, I'm going to come in here with my tortillon, my blending stump. And blend that out. Once again, leaving that reflected light underneath the nose. Then I'm going to come in here underneath this nostril, and I'm going to put in this heavy, heavy shadow. And I'm still just dealing with the hard pencil, the H. I'm going to come in here. There's a shadow on the edge of the nose. I'm going to erase away this X because I really don't need it anymore. The X is really just for figuring out proportions and proper sizes. So I'm going to put in the shadow here as it goes towards this darkest shadow underneath the nose. I'm there's a deep shadow next to the nose here. Once again, I'm going to use my blending stump to smooth this out, and it darkens it up a little bit too. Now I'm going to come in with a little bit of a darker pencil. I'm going to come in with my HB pencil. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the areas that are darker. And I'm noticing there's a darker ridge along the end of the underside of the nose here. Obviously the nostrils are very, very dark. Darkness along the bottom edge of the nose here. And a bit dark in this shadow, though not as dark as the nostrils. Bring this darker shadow up through this part here, and the side of the nostril. Pretty deep dark in here. An important thing to know about drawing a nose is that the shadows are what define the edges of the form. I'm going to use my blending stump at this point. Smooth out my edges. This ended up getting a little sharp down here, so I'm just going to erase away a little bit. Round that off with my hard pencil first. I'm going to use my HB pencil. Now that I've got that pretty much done with the two lighter pencils, I'm going to come in with my 4B and really turn the shadows up quite a bit. there you have it.